Hello. In this video, we are excited to present our innovation project, titled Linear Analysis of Frontal Sinus, a novel method for sex estimation in forensic anthropology. Meet Jamie, a palm oil field worker. One day, while going about his routine tasks, Jamie stumbled upon a shocking discovery, a pile of human skeletal remains. Startled, he immediately contacted the authorities. The police arrived swiftly, secured the area, and took Jamie's statement before allowing him to return home. Days later, Jamie saw on the news that the bones belonged to a 30-year-old male who had been reported missing the previous year. Thanks to the forensic anthropology team, the case moved one step closer to resolution. But this led Jamie to wonder. What exactly is forensic anthropology, and how can it help identify human remains? In short, forensic anthropology is a specialized subfield of physical anthropology. It applies the study of the human skeleton to assist in legal investigation. Forensic anthropologists construct what's known as a biological profile, helping determine the sex, age, ancestry, and stature of the deceased. In this project, we focus on one key element, estimating the sex of the deceased using new method on the frontal sinus. Currently, there are three major research gaps in forensic anthropology in Malaysia. First, limitations of conventional methods. Traditionally, bone measurements are taken using calipers. This approach is time-consuming, poor reliability, high standard of error, and limited comprehensive evaluation. Second, lack of frontal sinus databases. While skull and long bone databases are widely available, they are not always usable. These bones are often damaged or missing in recovered remains, thus creating a need to look for another alternative, such as the frontal sinus. The frontal sinus has strong resistance to trauma, which makes it well preserved in mass disasters. However, the database of the frontal sinus is not available. Third, insufficient Malaysian-specific data. Despite its forensic potential, there is currently no established frontal sinus database for the Malaysian population. In summary, the challenges posed by outdated measurement methods, lack of frontal sinus data, and the limited Malaysian population studies highlight the need for a better solution. That's where our research comes in. A collaborative team from UMS, UITM, USIM, and USM developed a novel approach to evaluate the frontal sinus variation using linear analysis within sex groups in Malaysia. This novel method has already led to 5 publications in index journals, with 2 more under review, presentations at 7 conferences, 11 innovation awards including 1 special award, 1 double gold, 7 gold, 1 silver in recognition for best ebook chapter, and obtained 2 registered intellectual properties under my IPO. Now, let's talk about the linear analysis method and how it works. How do we turn frontal sinus into a biological profile that allows us to estimate the sex of the unknown deceased? Every day, there will be patients coming to the hospital for a CT scan for all sorts of medical reasons, hence producing a lot of head CT scans that could be used as a 3D model source for the analysis. We utilized 393 head CT scans, reconstructed 3D models of the frontal sinus using 3D slicer, and performed linear measurements within the software. Our findings. The depth of the frontal sinus shows statistically significant differences between males and females. Using discriminate function analysis, DFA, the method achieved a classification accuracy of 80.2% after cross-validation. This is to show the differences in 3D frontal sinus depth between males and females, in which the male's frontal sinus tend to appear in a wider depth than the females. To conclude, the linear analysis method is a reliable, practical, and non-invasive tool for sex estimation using the 3D frontal sinus. This technique enhances forensic identification, especially in cases where conventional bones are fragmented or missing. In practice, forensic anthropologists can scan the skull, reconstruct the 3D model of the frontal sinus, perform linear analysis using 3D slicer, and compare results with the Malaysian database, providing a strong basis for estimating the sex of the deceased. We hope this method becomes a valuable asset in the future of forensic investigations. Linear analysis of frontal sinus, unlocking the gender mystery of the dead. Thank you for watching.